Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at techtrader.com. It's Thursday night, the 9th of February. These are the charts of the day. Well, a damn good day in market, and the markets ran, made new highs. Lots of stocks we followed did very well. Obviously, some of the shorts didn't, but that's what happens when you're short in a long market. Although some of the trends that we're seeing on the short side still looking pretty ugly. I won't go over them tonight. I want to talk about some of the longs. There's a lot of them. Kind of cut the list way back. Starting off, Accordia Therapeutics. Now, if you look at the big drop that it took from 44 all the way down into the 16 range over a year-long period, it formed the base and broke out today. Today was a big breakaway gap with a big price volume thrust and closing at the very end of the day going away. So for me, when you do that with volume of 5.26 million, the biggest volume I've ever seen in a stock, then it definitely is breakaway day. I would be shocked if this didn't continue forward. My targets are just under 28 and then 31. There's 7.36 days to cover. Any pullbacks, particularly towards 23 3/4, I think the next day or two down in there, could be a buying opportunity. Let's keep an eye on it. I may put a swing on it. Up next is AERI, and it's been doing great. Today you can see popping up through resistance. These are new all-time highs. And from the original pattern that I had drawn in here, I'm still looking for a run eventually either via takeover or even on its own for this to get into the 50-55 range. Eventually, we can see that stock as high as 65 or 70. That may take a takeover. We'll see. 9 days to cover on that one. AKO also extending its move, and it's been up for 7 days in a row, folks. Coming off that reversal day in the bottom of the channel. Now, the top of the channel comes in around 22. So that would be my near-term target. But who's to say this can't blow up and get into the mid to high 20s? AQMS with a spectacular day today. It was one of the best day trades in a long time. If you take a look at the move, popped. We bought it early on. It near the 14 range. It then formed the wedge, broke out, formed the coil, broke out again. Spectacular day, and it closed near the upper end of the range. Although there was some late profit taking, getting up to as high as 17.12, closing at 16.16 at 4.75 or 42%. That traded the biggest volume by far since the company's been public, of 3.5 million shares. And with 12.7 days to cover, the shorts are running. If it follows this angle, and you can see what it looks like, there's a possibility this is going to make it into the mid-20s pretty quickly. Look for pullback opportunities over the next day or two that maybe set us up for some consolidation and run. I do think even tomorrow, if it gets across 17.12, it could be as high as 19 or 20. 12.7 days to cover. And our ARRY did great today. If you take a look at the pattern, it broke out of the coil, it exploded for $1.86 or 17.4% on 10 million shares. More than that. Yeah, 10.8 million. And it's well on its way to what I think could be 14 or 15 short term. 4 days to cover on that one. ATI looked like it started to move late in the day, or at least it did today. Take a look at the 1 minute chart. You'll see that it had the big run up in the morning and consolidated in the afternoon. I like the look of it. I think the stock has a chance of, after the price volume surge breakaway gap and the 2-week pullback, it's now ready to take that flag and rip it. My target's at 23.5 3/4, 26, and ultimately top of the channel in the mid-30s could be had. We'll just have to see what happens. A 13.6 days to cover short position is not going to hurt, that's for sure. Not the longs anyway. CLF for the big day today, 91 million shares, by far the biggest volume ever traded, breaking out of this coil and closing near the upper end of the range through resistance. Target's 14.5, and then way up there in the 20 range or better, but that's going to take some time. At least the short-term target could be 14, 14.5. There's 3.5 days to cover on that one. And Clovis just keeps climbing. The near-term channel within the larger channel and the recent pullback looks like it afforded an opportunity to enter. Anyway, we're looking at the double top around 67, 66.5, 7 is resistance. My target is going to be 74. I think if it gets to 67, it could run 5 to 7 more points pretty quickly. Internal medics. Well, after that explosive move and the 50% reach rates, it bounced and retested twice, holding the 50-day. Another little mini coil, and today it popped $1.03 or 14.5%. 8 million traded as volume picked up. This is something you got to watch. As early as tomorrow morning, if this gets across the 860 range, it may very well take a quick run towards the $10 range. Anything through that, and we're looking at potentially as high as 13. So 10 and 13 are targets if this gets going. and that's a big if for now. EXEL continues to climb the ladder. Another 89 cents or 4% today on 8 million. Looking like this stock wants to be headed up towards 30. But today it did hit my swing target at 22. Next target is 25. And then 30 plus. 2.7 days to cover in that beauty. Breakout on Flowtech today as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline ceased here. A little mini base formed. Today was a breakaway gap with volume and a high close above the trend line. Looking like this is headed into that 13.5, 14 range short term. Secondary target, 15. So 13 to 15, something like that. 9.95 days to cover, almost 10 days to cover. GEO, our swing trade, continues to do phenomenal. After it popped and pulled back into that 29-30 range we gave you a swing. It's now reached 43, still running. Take a look at the channel today, it broke out of a coil. There is the coil pattern I just stated. The breakout occurred with a price volume surge today. There's your bar. Volume increased a little bit, not enough. But with 3.75 days to cover, I fully expect it to reach the 44.5, 45.5 zone up here short term. That would satisfy my final target. It may go more, but that's my target. So Kate, looks like it started to move today, and I decided to anticipate the breakout, which always burns my butt, but we'll see if we can get this to extend. Obviously, resistance spike high at 1945, and then this spike high at 1987 is important resistance along this zone through there. If we can get that up above 19.5, 3/4, it could be a rock star. We shall see. Or it could be a takeover. We're hearing that. Swing trade KEM has been acting great after the swing was given to you in the 5.5, 6 range. It ran up to 7, pulled back, now trading almost 8. You can see the top of the channel measures for me upwards of 9 short term, maybe even as high as 9.5. 3.4 days to cover on that one. Beautiful day trade in LPX today. Here's your 1 minute chart. Ran up all day until the last half hour. You can see on the daily chart that breaks out of a massive inverse head and shoulders going back about 6-7 months. Today was a breakout, breakaway gap. Yesterday gapped as well as two consecutive gaps in a row with increasing volume is a strong indication to go higher. 25 is your target short term. OREX. Well, this little puppy, after the explosive move in early January, spent the rest of the month coiling, and then it broke out. It's been up for 8 days in a row, having gone from 3.25 to 5.5. Pretty nice move. And now that it's up through this level, I would be surprised if it didn't get as high as 650 short term. Secondary target, 8.5. Nice move on OSUR today in earnings. It broke up and through the channel, got to lateral resistance in this zone, and actually not only took it out, but closed above that area. And to me, if it can make a little bit further thrust, this may very well be able to get up towards 14, my near-term target. PCMI, look at that rising channel, really strong pattern. This was a major breakout and the pullback. It's had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big 5th wave, maybe well underway, if not nearly completed, but my target is 30.31. Trucks, a stock I like a lot, chart I like a lot. I'm a little surprised they didn't put a swing on it when it broke out recently, but you see there's not a lot of follow through. It goes up and pulls back, it goes up and pulls back, up and back, up and back. But it's steadily higher now. And with target about 15 and then 19, I would look at this one with 6 days to cover nearly. That may be accelerating towards the 20, low 20s up in that zone, across here. 5.9 days to cover, that's it. TTMI exploded out of its little wedge too. Big day today, up 186 or 12%. 6.7 million increasing volume, the best in 2.5 months. I'm thinking 19 and 22. 10.45 days to cover on that beauty. VRTU, I like the symmetry of this pattern. Multiple waves down, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A V-bottom reversal with heavy volume. A breakout of the moving average, a run to resistance, and then a pullback to test that moving average. Apparently successfully, because today It popped 285 or 11%. Volume isn't big. This isn't a heavily traded stock, but if this gets through the 28 a quarter area, 32 is my near-term target, and 38.9 is my intermediate target. That's a good-looking chart. 7 days to cover short. U.S. Steel actually had a significant day today. Even though the volume wasn't as big as I would have wanted, this broke out of a 2-month flag pattern. And you can see that, here's your flag, or consolidation range. Volume picked up about 4 days ago, and then it went into a little bit of a consolidation on low volume, but today it popped again. That's significant. Not only is it significant because of the move it made, 285 or 8.25% on a whopping nearly 30 million shares, but more importantly, it's right at and closed at resistance. If it gaps tomorrow, this may very well immediately test 39, and it may very well start to move into the low to mid 40s. One to watch. And last thing tonight is Zendesk had a big pop. They didn't close great, but it managed to finish up 379 or 15.5% on 6 million. That's the biggest volume on an up day I can find ever. Looking for an extension that takes this up in this zone, approximately the 31-32 zone is my next target. Let's see if we can get that going. 4.7 days to cover. And that's it for the charts of the day today. You guys have a great evening. Let's make some money tomorrow. Good night.